Hello, everyone. It is Pat, and I'm back on the airwaves again. Today is the 7th of August, and I wanted to come on and do a little, energy reading and pick some angel cards for us for this coming month. We've got some interesting energies coming up this month. Tomorrow is August 8th, 8 8, and they call that the Lion's Gate. It's a portal, like an energy portal that's great for manifesting. So it's a really good time to really think about your goals, desires, pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings. Um, Manifestation game on. um, I've already been successful myself in manifesting some smaller things that I really love and they came to fruition pretty quickly. So, but anyways, yeah, think about but I want to let you know about that tomorrow is that portal. You can search on YouTube if you want to find out more about it. But yeah, now is a great time to sit down and think about what you'd like to have for yourself in your life, and go from there. Do a little journaling, see what it brings up for you. So, anyways, let's. I wanted to pull out some Archangel cards. And I'm going to pull from the Good Tarot that I've been studying and working with here. And we'll see who's looking out for us, okay, and what's going on. Beloved Archangels, and let's take a nice deep breath and kind of ground ourselves. Calling Archangel Michael to be here and present with us and clear any cords of fear, any negative energies. Clear out our energy field and call upon any archangels who may have a message for us for this month, who we could be working with and what their messages are for us. We need to work with. Okay. So I've got a couple that have popped out here. One is relationship harmony. This is the Archangel Raguel. He says, we are opening the hearts of everyone involved, and arguments and conflicts are now being resolved. Archangel Raguel is like a friend angel, and he helps he helps resolve family disputes, and if you're in any situation where you might feel like the underdog, he helps to create harmonious relationships. So if you're in a situation where there's some tensions going on, call upon Raguel to help dissolve and resolve some of the tensions that are taking place, okay? He's bringing in, I want to say, more harmony into maybe some situations that you've been dealing with. He's also an archangel who helps, I believe, with legal disputes. So if you have something along those lines going on, excuse me, just a minute. I'm going to get my water. Whether you're setting up legal things, or if there's a legal dispute going on that you're hoping will get resolved, Archangel Raguel is a great angel to work with. Call him in to oversee what's going on, to intervene. The other angel that came out was this is Archangel Raziel. We have the two archangels today. Raziel, there's messages of clairvoyance, and it says, I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Now, I think there's a couple of meanings to this. I do think for a lot of you who are sensitive out there, you might be seeing more, visions in your mind's eye, more clairvoyant images. And, pay attention to some of those that are going on. That maybe that aspect of you is getting developed. I mean, the energies with the Lion's Gate, and sometimes there's a lot of astrological thing. I know around full moons, I have a lot more visual stuff going on. I do also feel that it's also a little bit of a message of clarity. We're going to be seeing things more clearly. If there was confusion around something, or if you've been feeling a little bit, lost, or like things were still suspended, there's a lot more clarity that's going to come forward for you about how to proceed, or about a situation that you're involved in, maybe connected to, the relationship, or if there's any legal things going on. Clairvoyance is about clear seeing. And it's not just what you see intuitively in your mind's eye. It's about seeing the truth in your own personal life. So you may be able to see things now in a new light. Information may be coming forward. And I do believe in, here in the United States, with the hearings that have been going on, and in our, we're going to end in the world at large, in the arena of politics, we're going to see a lot more clarity around things that have been going on. I know these hearings have been going on for a long time, and we don't always see our Attorney General Merrick Garland come forward with stuff, although he did recently. But I think there's a lot more things that are finally going to come out into public awareness. Things that they they've known about for a while, but they just haven't brought that information to the public eye yet. But those details, a lot of what is known, is going to come out. So, but, and Raziel is an angel you can call on for spiritual help and enlightenment, to help see things from a higher spiritual perspective. Okay. Sometimes when we are enmeshed in our day-to-day lives, we need to take that time to, step back, maybe have some quiet time, meditation. I'm always advocating that. Meditation, really, I know people talk about it often as a very healthy practice for you. It's a very spiritual practice, but it has the effect of calming the nervous system from the myriad of distractions that are out there in the physical world that are drawing our time and attention. So, but Raziel is an angel. He can help us with that, connecting to the higher spiritual meaning of things, or the higher spiritual perspective. Okay. Sometimes we need that. We need to take a little time away from the physical world and tune in with the angels, tune in with our own higher self, and get a different perspective, a higher perspective. All right. I don't know about all of you, but I am having a day today where I am just wiped out energetically. And it may be due to some of the astrological events going on. It may be due to the heat, but sometimes, you just have to take that day and do nothing. I always feel a little bad when I have a day like this, where my energies just feel so wiped out, and I feel like all I want to do is sleep. I feel like I should be doing more because there isn't a whole lot of time during the week with working to get things done. But I also have to remind myself that, we have to follow our energy flows, our energy cycles. And sometimes, we do have a day where you just feel wiped out and you just need to recover. You need kind of like a day to do nothing. There's a wonderful book out that I'm still in the process of reading called Radical Rest. And I don't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I can put it below in the description. But it's really a good concept to embrace. We don't always have to be producing. We don't always have to be getting something done. Sometimes you really just do need to take a break and rest and integrate, and not have to have a schedule, or worry about doing anything. It will all get done. It will. No one's going to put as an epitaph on your gravestone. Hey, so-and-so lies here, got everything done. So anyway, let's see what I'm going to pull from the Good Tarot in the full of the major arcana cards to see what messages we have coming up for this month. I'm asking for the month. What's up? What's going on for us in August that those who are watching this video may need to know or pay attention to? What messages? What do we need to know, Spirit? What would you like us to know? All right, well, nothing's jumping out, so I may just pick out what is our anchor for now. All right, here's one that's come out. And this is the first card with this type of deck, the first card that comes out, regardless of the type of spread that we're doing. Like, usually for these readings, I do a three card spread. But the first one that comes out is generally like an anchor card, or it's, we might put it in what we would call the past position, and then we have a present and an outcome. But so it's the one that's kind of like the anchor of the whole thing. And this is, the Hermit is about what I was just talking about. Funny. In some ways, not so funny. It's about rest and recovery. It's about processing, integrating, being the hermit and taking that time out away from people, away from things, that time for respite and integration. And it's important. It's an important place, because once we take that time out and refill our coffers, replenish our energies, then we have, can get better insights and better clarity and have that motivational energy to follow through on it. Okay. It's a time to regroup, time for introspection. And that's what Sunday is for a lot of people. But, and August is still a big vacation month. So taking time out is a big part of what we need to anchor ourselves with this month. And it may be because there's a lot of things coming up, in the news, about what's been going on in the government and the world, or maybe even in your personal life, and you just need some time out to process it. Okay. Give that gift to yourself, really. When you step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, you get a clearer perspective on everything in your life. So that's important. Okay. So that's our anchor card. Let's see what else they want to tell us. This spilled out. Okay. The World. All right. And that feels like a perspective card, but yeah, it is. I think we got this one of the other times the last time I did a reading. And it's about shifting our perspective from a place of fear and worry. I know I have to work on this a lot myself. Shifting from a place of fear and worry. And sometimes that's a matter of going within yourself, taking that meditation time out, taking the time out, the Hermit card. Okay. This card says, when I remember I am first and foremost an immortal soul, experiencing life as a human being, I have no fear. I can see clearly that I'm a powerful co-creator in a divine partnership with spirit. And that speaks to the manifestation portal I was just talking about. And it mentions seeing clearly. It's that higher perspective that I was talking about with the Archangel Raziel card. Okay. So, and that's, when we look at this card and the imagery on it, it's like you're looking at the world or the moon. Yeah. It's like you're looking at it from space. And I'm reminded of that song by Bette Midler, From a Distance. We all have enough. And there's also that song, and forgive me because I'm tired today, so I'm not remembering who the artists are, forgive me, but or all of them are. But there's a song that something about feeling small when you stand beside the ocean, and it goes on to say, "I hope you dance." It's a country singer, Emmylou Harris, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong and if I've attributed it to the wrong person, but so it's about that kind of perspective, and maybe your timeout could be by a beach or a pond or a lake or some body of water. Those are great places to take a timeout. Or maybe you're a forest person, something going out in nature. But, usually when you stand next to something that's so much bigger than you are and you get that perspective that of the largeness and the vastness of the earth, the universe, it really helps to kind of bring things back into perspective and helps you to remember what matters most for you in your life, in your world. So it also, I think, has some elements to it where our perspective of the world itself, the world, the earth, the world as a whole is changing. Okay. There are things in the world are changing. There's a much larger cycle that's going on. Okay. In fact, one of the people that I listen to online who's very accurate and who I trust a lot, he has mentioned from his guides that we are in a 30-year process of change that began in 2020 and is going to go on until 2050. And, it probably takes that long to change the consciousness of the world at large. But that consciousness is changing. And, when I get this as, but I get this as something more. It's like some of the major players in the world are going to be bringing forward changes this month. Okay. There's going to be a change in the powers that are going on in the world. And, world leaders, things like that. Some of them are going to go maybe by the wayside, and others are going to be stepping up and coming into play. And it's our perspective of the whole thing is going to change. Okay. Our world perspective is going to change. So, okay, let's see what other. Now, the next card I'm going to pull is we're and given that this is the month of August, there's a lot of world events. It's not just the war in Ukraine. We're going to hear more about that, but world events in terms of earthquakes, storms, volcanoes, things like that. We know there's a lot of flooding going on in a lot of places. So we're going to hear a lot more and get a lot more clarity, that beginning card, about what's going on in the world. Okay. A lot of things I think are going to come to light very soon or very quickly. Okay. I know a lot of us have been very frustrated because all this investigation that has been going on seems to be taking forever. I know I spent one night watching the January 6th hearings, and they seem to be saying that, oh, we know this happened and we know this happened, but they're not doing anything about it. They're just going to have more meetings. So it can seem more frustrating, very frustrating when there's no action taking place. But, there's reasons why certain pieces of information don't come forward until a certain time. But I think there's a lot more that's going to be, and what we may hear about too, given the Archangel Raguel card, is about relationships that have gone on. In terms of countries in the world, who's been in bed with each other, kind of thing. So bringing new light and new awarenesses to stuff that's been going on. All right. What other messages? Let's the outcome message? Okay. The High Priestess. She's about mystery and the unknown. Okay. So it's interesting that she came up next. And I might ask for a little clarification around what that means as an outcome card for us. Yeah. You know, some things aren't meant to be known. She's a lot about mystery and the unknown. And it requires us to trust. Trust our intuition. She's got the goddess symbol. Okay. And pardon me. Must be, something in the air with the air conditioning and anyway. We still need to be okay with some elements of the unknown. There are some things that we may have suspected have been going on that we may never know about. And this, as we go into some new arenas, and maybe in our personal life or in the world at large, we're kind of stepping into uncharted territory. Okay. Even though, based on what I just told you that I heard from my other YouTube channel I watch about this 30-year consciousness shift. And a lot of us have already known that there's a consciousness shift going on. But there's some areas that we're stepping into, both in our personal life and in the world at large, that are just uncharted. That we haven't ventured into these areas before. It's the unknown, and we kind of have to go into it. It's, in one way, it's good. It's new beginnings. It's a new start. We had a very powerful new moon at the end of July that brought in a lot of new things, has brought in a lot of new energy. But there's a lot of, as we venture into new things, as we venture into this higher spiritual perspective and a changing of consciousness and perspective, in many ways, it's uncharted territory for us. And like any change we go into, when we can't see the outcome, we really have to trust our instinct and our intuition. Okay. And that, that happens in a lot of areas of life. It's not anything to be scared of. Sometimes when you venture into a new job, it can seem like, something really great on the surface, but, you're still entering into an area that you haven't been to before. There's a lot of, when people start a business, they're venturing into uncharted territory because they don't know how it's going to play out. They're relying on their intuition, their intention, their energy and enthusiasm, to move it forward. So anyways, let me just pull a clarifier card. I'm going to pull out the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I love Colette Baron Reid's decks because I learn a lot from her. I listen to her. I take her classes. She's a really awesome reader. I like the way she reads. Okay. Spirit, we have some clarification. Anything else we need to know about this? All right, let's see. Interesting. Okay, so I think what we're going to hear about, the truth be told, is in the protection position, which means it can mean that someone's been lying to you, not telling you the truth. Okay, so I think we may find out about things from the media that have been going on, that we were lied to about. That may be what's coming forward. Let's see. At a personal level, it can certainly ask if, speak to you. Is there some area where you're not being honest with yourself about something? Where you're not acknowledging the truth about something? Okay. It may be that things are being, brought to our awareness at a personal level and at a worldwide level. There are areas where we've been denying things to ourselves. Okay. So it's always important to ask for the truth, even if it's not necessarily what you want to hear. Okay. Um, so I think this is, a bit of both. I think we're going to hear a lot of things in the news about the hidden agendas that were behind things like January 6th and other things going on in the world. I don't think that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is done yet, even though he's out of the picture. I think there's more that will, maybe this month, maybe not, but I think there's a lot that's going to come to light of things that we've been lied to about. Okay. And for some people out there, part of maybe the unknown territory that you're going into, the mystery that you're delving into, is your own personal digging underneath to see if have you been in denial about something? Have you not faced the truth about something? It can be hard to finally admit something to yourself or acknowledge it, but doing it can be very freeing too. Let's see. All right, Spirit, is there any other messages that we need to hear about that? I love this card too, because right side up, it's a cute little owl. And an owl represents wisdom in a lot of oracle and tarot cards. And he's got like this belly with this open window and blue skies, which are very clear. Again, that message of clarity. And beneath it, he's standing on top of a mask. So it's about seeing the truth behind the mask. Okay, maybe the mask that you present to the world or the mask that's been presented to you as a person. And, you're seeing underneath that. All right, Spirit, is there any other clarification that we want to get? Okay. All right. So another card that popped out here, and this is the higher power card. All right. And I feel like it's more of a reminder than anything else of our connection, just like with Raziel, our connection to our own spiritual higher power, whatever you conceive of that to be. That's where your true relationship with yourself lies. And it's important to stay connected to that, especially if you're in troubling times or confused or not sure where to go, or if you're going into uncharted territory, you don't know what the future is going to bring and it's making you feel afraid. Reconnect. Okay. Remember that your first relationship is with your higher power. And from there, all other things flow. Okay. So that may be part of what we're doing. Maybe that the events in the world are driving us into that place where we need to take time out, be the hermit, and reconnect with our higher power, okay, to help with our changing perspective. And so, let's see, anything else we need to know for this month? Ooh. All right. We got the Thinker card that came out. And the Thinker is all about, thinking things through. Okay. Let me see. I just like to look at her book for reference here. 38. This is the card number 44, which I always think of as an angel number. Okay. This is about, this is a bit about making, being analytical and logical and making lists and things like that, even though it comes after that mystery card of trusting your intuition. When you do trust your intuition and ideas and inspirations come to you, then it's time to put your thinking to work. Okay. Um, you don't have to necessarily always look any deeper than what's coming to you. Like if someone is revealing something to you, you don't necessarily have to look for a deeper, are they trying to make me think this or manipulate me into that? You can take it at face value when this card comes up. Things are exactly as they seem. Okay. So when it's in the upright card, when in the upright position, it's about taking the time to think things through. When it's upside down, which it didn't come out that way, it can be overthinking things and analysis paralysis, but we got it right side up today. So it's about thinking things through with information that's been brought to you or awarenesses that have been brought to you. You know, sometimes if something big's been revealed to you, then that has created any kind of upheaval or made you aware that, oh, okay, based on this information, I need to change my plans. That's when the thinker comes into place. Okay. So, or, you know, as you're taking that time out, I think this also is symbolic of thoughts and ideas that come to you, fresh ideas. That are important to follow through on. That's part of the reason that we go when we take that time out, like the Hermit shows us. Okay. Anyways, so these are some of the themes that are going to be going on in this month of August. And as you take that time out with the Hermit and look at things from a different perspective, you know, and you connect with your higher power, it's a really strong time for manifesting and bringing things into being. So focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. If there's someone in your life that's going through a difficult time, maybe see them in a healed reality. Focus on their health and your health, and the emotion that you would have around that. You know, if you're looking to improve your own health, how would you feel if you lost whatever weight you wanted to lose or gained it, depending on what your situation is? The excitement and joy, success and joy. How does that feel to you when something that you've been desiring comes to fruition? The importance of the higher power card is a reminder to us that there's more. It's also a reminder to us that there's more than just worldly or material desires too. All things come from spirit. And the emotion that we feel, you know, if it's joy, if it's the joy around success or what have you, or excitement, those are some of the higher qualities that come from the spirit world. Love, joy, peace. So that's why they remind us to maintain that connection, because as we stay connected to our higher power, we can more easily bring that. And, you know, it's important. It is important to focus on peace within yourself, you know. But anyways, work with this time of manifesting and bringing about peace and healing for yourself and others. So anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching. And, you know, if you've gotten something out of what you saw today, please, you know, hit the like button or the subscribe button, leave a comment below. I appreciate everyone who's watched the videos, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, everyone. Happy August.